Right, okay. So, for those of you who have chosen to watch this, I welcome you to my first ever YouTube video and episode 1 of this Let's Play series. So we'll actually be playing the game Gentleman of Fortune, Eras 2, which is a pirate game set in the golden age of piracy. The years they listed on in the game are 1645 to 1725, which was pretty much when the era that the golden age took place in. You see a lot of focus on the later years of the golden age, so like the first 2 decades of the 18th century, so 1700 to about 1720. Which is when quite a few of the famous pirates lived. But there's a lot of piracy in the Golden Age that was actually quite a bit more exciting earlier on in the 1660s. And the game starts in 1665 by default, so that's kind of the period we're going to be exploring. So, yeah, it is technically a mod. We're going to be playing version 2.7. Cool part is you don't have to download anything. You don't have to buy anything to play it. You can just go to the Gentleman of Fortune forums on Buccaneers Reef and download the game. It is a pretty big file. It's nearly 10 gigs as a zip file. And then you have to unzip it using, I recommend 7-zip. You are going to need that to unzip the game and play it. But other than that, you get the whole game for free. So far, and then now the developers are starting to move towards licensing Gentleman of Fortune as their own franchise. They're looking to consider paid content, so they can actually make a bit of a living off of that. And considering the amazing work they've been doing so far, I don't really begrudge them that. So, yeah. So current version is 2.7. And I can't really think of anything else to talk about, so let's start. I'm playing this on a gaming computer, on a Cybertron PC gaming computer, so it's kind of on the lower end, I think. I don't know much about that, so let me delete these two profiles. You can have different character profiles, so to play with different characters. So exit. Okay. So I want a new game. Before I do any, so yeah. My last. You notice that the other two profiles were called were YouTube profiles. That was because I did have a previous attempt at playing through the game, and that was on a higher difficulty, and things went kind of bad, and I basically got I went bankrupt about 9 hours in, so decided to start over. So there's actually a large number of characters in here, some fictional, but most of them are historical, like Nicholas Van Horn, Roch Brasiliano, Jacques Cassard. Those were all historical characters. Peter Blood is a fictional character from Raphael Sabatini's famous novel Captain Blood. But it says here a character for the expert player, so we're not going to. That's the first thing he says in his little biography. So we're not going to play as him. He's English anyways, and I want to play as a Dutchman. So unfortunately, I'm not terribly fond of all of the Dutchman models. There's 3 I like that I prefer to play as, because I prefer to play as guys who look kind of like dashing young rogues, whereas a lot of the other guys look like older, more refined, or people, or I just otherwise don't like the look. So anyways, there's actually 10 difficulty levels here. The 10th is, in my opinion, accurately named Impossible. Usually I've played on Sailor difficulty, but to give us a bit more of a challenge, I'm going to up that to Bosun. Previously I'd played on Lieutenant, which is the 4th difficulty when you're going up, but that one kind of badly. So I'm going to increase the experience rate, the rate of experience increase a bit, so that I can move things along a bit quicker. We're going to play as Nicholas von Horn. And you can change your hero type as well, which will affect your starting stats. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with usually I play using the adventurer type. I'm thinking either merchant or maybe corsair. I don't know how hero type really affects your character. It might be. It might affect the way you're starting skills and your starting skills and capabilities. It might give a boost to certain skills. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna go with merchant, which is Nicholas von Horn's default. So this is pretty much the starting screen for most people. Kind of the very first, kind of a bit of a tutorial.
Good to see you, Captain.
So yeah, we don't really have a huge amount of options here at first, but you find out you got a concussion. Your previous captain, known as the Lucky Boy Johann Tomtit, which I believe is an attempt at period humor in his name. Apparently, immunity was to bolts and sabers, was then crushed by a falling mast in the battle you were previously in. A lot of times it says you're hit by pirates, but here it says we were attacked by a patrol of English ships, since Holland and England are at war currently at the start of the game. So apparently you kept your head, took command, and ordered your crew to clear out. And of course you say, "Oh, I think I remember. I ordered a maneuver to strategically distance ourselves from the enemy," which I take to be a polite way of saying, "Oh yeah, I screamed out, 'Let's run away!'" Anyways, anyway, and then here you get a little bit more information, mostly just fluff, and find out you were wounded by a bomb explosion when one of the enemy ships hit yours broadside during the retreat. And so you basically, your character asks, "Yeah, so what's wrong with me? Everything's in place," and you get your first option. So you can say, "No, I feel as fine as I am," and just proceed, or you can do what I'm going to do, and you can say, "Create." You want to check your health, and that allows you to create your character to a certain extent. So you'll get that little window showing you how things work. Oh, okay. So you have basic commerce. Okay, so apparently your class does affect. I'm pretty sure your class affects your starting capabilities, the levels that they're at, which will in turn affect your skills, and it also affects your abilities. Like usually, with the adventure, you start with basic defensive arts in your personal abilities, which will cause any damage you receive in personal combat to be reduced by 10%. But as a merchant, I'm starting with the ship ability Basic Commerce instead, which gives me a 10% discount on any goods I buy in the store, which is nice. So it might also affect the level of starting life points you have. So success. Yeah. Okay. So,
What will your orders be, Captain?
Let's get that. So I'm actually going to start over real quick. New game, yes. Snick with Fun Horn. I'm going to start as an adventure instead. I like that a bit better. Okay, yeah, I want to overwrite that previous profile I made. And we'll just go through this again real quick. That's the first time I've ever tried to play as a merchant.
Good to see you, Captain.
Apparently he's not starting with the kind of skills I want. Oh well. So, like that. Let's just check. And head to shore. And take a look at our inventory. Okay. Okay. So I will now F1. Let me check my options. Okay, I need to set some of my options. And that should be everything I need to do. So I'm going to save. Session start. Okay, and that way if something happens in the middle of my session, I can just come back and start over if I need to. I apologize for any sniffles you hear. I've had a bit of a runny nose for several years, and I don't think it's anything serious, but it is kind of annoying. So we're currently in the colony of Wilhelmstad on the island of Curacao. So we're going to visit the store. So I can sell my cargo.
You'll not find a finer shop in Holland itself.
So, cacao is an import here, so I'm going to sell that. So, because that'll actually make me a bit of a profit. Leather, which I also have in my hold, is unfortunately an export here. I believe. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So I wouldn't make very much off of it, but I believe it's an export on. I believe it's an import at Martinique.
Quality. It's why you have come here.
And I'll take some personal items to sell. Yeah, I don't want that. Keeping that. Ooh, sell that. Oh yeah, that'll give me a lot of money. Sell the wine. And still have to sell that. And that increases my leadership. Some items and books in particular will increase certain skills. so that will give a boost to certain skills. Like the chart reading glass gives me a boost to navigation. The deck of cards gives me a boost to luck. Gentleman's Grooming Kit gives me a boost to leadership. Well, yeah, I'll buy one. Yeah, I'll buy one. I could use it. Right, so that done. So I'm going to equip that and put some regular spike lines. And put the wheel lock dag and place some regular pistol and then equip the Dutch saber. Since those are all better. We currently have, and then
Now here's a man who values Dutch quality.
sell off that stuff now. Okay. Yeah. So that done for now. I shall head out and visit the shipyard to see what they have.
Captain, does your ship need repairs?
So let's see what he has. So my current ship is the St. Nicholas Day, a tier 4 38 gun fourth raider. So that's actually a pretty powerful ship. Unfortunately, it's very high level, and so I can't sail it as well as I would be able to sail a smaller ship, which is a bummer. That's quite a lot. Okay, so I'm actually quite tempted. So I can normally, get back on here so I can show you. With my current skills, yeah, you can see here my skills are experiencing negatives, all of my skills, because I'm sailing a ship that's too large for my skill level. In navigation is what affects that. So right click on this, I can see it if I'm going to sail a class 4 ship, then I need to have a navigation skill of 40. If I lack that level of navigation skill there, I'm going to suffer penalties to all skills and characteristics. So I think I can sail Yeah, class 6 requires only 1 point in navigation, so yeah, the maximum I can sail right now, with the maximum class vessel I can sail right now, without penalty, is a class 6. A class 1 ship, class 1 is the most powerful ship, and class 7 is the lowest. Yeah, okay, I'll accept that. So he's asking me to go to Basse-Terre, which is the French port. It's a French port on Guadeloupe, I believe. So to steal some plans for him. So I could get the Belandra, which is a tier 7, and is actually pretty decent. And it's probably the the Tartane and the small coastal sailing boat aren't very good. They're completely unarmed and they're horribly small. So it's a choice between the Belandra and the advanced sloop. The Belandra has 2 extra guns, slightly larger hold, and is cheaper. They're both about the same speed, though the Belandra is more maneuverable and has a larger crew capacity. The advanced sloop is just a touch faster, has more hit points, and can mount bigger guns if I choose to. And, so the advanced sloop can mount 16 pounders, where the Belandra can only mount 8 pounders. So that's double the size of what I currently have. How much it costs to get this? Okay, so apparently I wouldn't have enough to buy the advanced sloop anyways. So we're going to, we're going to buy the Belandra. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of sad to give up that 4th raider, but beggars can't be choosers. So, quick save real here, and then check out our new. Let me show you my. So I'm not suffering any negatives in my skills anymore, which is certainly nice.
You, sir, are very lucky to be here.
See if
We
we
are
can
the
get
best.
okay, so he doesn't have enough 8-pounder cannons. He's only got 3 8-pounders, so it's not enough to convert 2 8-pounder guns on my ship. So we're gonna go to the store to see if we can sell and buy a few things.
Ja, vrienden, what can I do for you? I'm going to sell off a bit of the ammunition I have. Actually, we'll keep all the chain shot. Yeah, we'll buy a bit of extra chain shot, just a bit. Grape shot, we'll leave. Cannonballs. We'll sell off some of those. Won't make hardly anything, but we can do. We'll buy some extra powder.
So we've done that. We'll come up here.
What can I help you with, Captain?
See if there's anything we'd like to buy. This stall is a bit annoying because you have to be in exactly the right place to talk to the vendor.
The best goods for your shiniest coins.
Okay, I'm buying that. I remember one of my previous games I got lost on Hispaniola and didn't have a map. I spent like 20 and about
The
20, 30
sharpest blade
minutes
for the most skilled
wandering
of hands.
around not knowing where I was even going. Yeah, we'll buy that one.
I value every client, even those that have yet to actually buy something.
So I'm not going to take any of that. I'm not paying much upkeep on this ship right now. That's good. I'm going to come over here to the tavern.
Can you believe Rodrigo is sailing for the English? Pray tell me,
Let's see if I can find an officer.
Shh! Quiet down. We've got patrols all around.
So he's a unique cat. He's an independent cat. I'm pretty sure he is too. And they'll sometimes offer you work.
I can outsail any stinking Englishman.
So yeah, sometimes independent captains will offer you work. Sometimes you can hire them or convince them to travel with you in a squad. So, see what kind of say. Oh, okay, decent. Low morale though. I'll just hire Ford up my crew to nice even 30.
No pray, no pay. I make.
Right, so now let's check the chest here. Nothing there. The tape. Nothing on the table. Nothing there either. Bit of a bummer, but yeah, what can you do? Okay, so that's Marco the Reuter. He's another independent
Hey
captain.
there, friends. Have a
Nah,
seat.
I'm not gonna
Share
gamble
a
at the moment.
drink with us.
You viewers will have to let me know if you want to see me try gambling. These guys, I'll probably fail miserably, but yeah, might as well try it if people want to see it. And we're going to go out and explore the jungle tonight. And there are more bandits in the jungle at nighttime, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. I'd like to see if I can find some that I can take loot from. Here's one right here.
Let's see what you've got ringing in those pockets of yours.
I started with an awesome pistol. Ooh, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. And he has some good stuff on him. So quick save so that if I die further ahead, I won't lose that. I hopefully won't lose that stuff. So let's take the right trail. Seems there's 3 trails here that I can take. So let's take the right one first. Okay. So yeah, this one leads to the fort, I believe. Yeah, Fort Amsterdam. Right there. And that's just a generic fort model that every fort has. They just changed the flag flying above it. I think it'd be cool to see unique fort designs that are a bit more realistic than that one, historically accurate. And because I remember from some of my reading and stuff that different nations had different little different quirks or styles in their forts. And so it'd be kind of cool to see the different nations have different forts like that. Though even just a generic fort, a new generic fort would be nice. Something that is a bit more period appropriate and historically accurate than something that basically just looks like a fancy tower with some wings on it, which doesn't really work out very well. So I believe the rest of the jungle is this way. Yep. And apparently there's nobody here, so we'll go left again. See what's down that way. More jungle. Keep going. Round the bend. Oh, more jungle. This may look like a well, but it's actually an entrance into a cave. I'm not going to go down there at the moment because I'm not a... Because caves and grottos are usually the home of undead, and once you activate them, they pretty much they're pretty hard to deal with.
Well met. So you decided to share your cash with us?
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Crime doesn't pay. Unless you're me, of course. And it pays quite a lot. Anyway. So let's head back. And take this other trail down here. That just leads to another shoreline. See if there's anybody here. Doesn't appear like it. Nope. There we go. And let's see the other way now. See what's down there. I think down here is a cave. Yep. This is a cave entrance, and that's not a bandit. Unfortunately for my loot grabbing tendencies, just someone walking around. You can tell because he's moving around rather than just standing still waiting for you. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll save here and we'll go down to the cave just to show you what it's like. Okay, yeah, this isn't exactly my favorite type of cave. So yeah, this is one of the cave models. It's not a grotto, but it's a cave. Let me activate fight mode. Yeah, these guys usually have more health than your common opponent, and a lot of times they come in packs as well. They usually have pretty good loot in most cases, but they're not the easiest because they come in packs. That was a bit easier. Yeah, these guys really usually aren't the easiest to take on. And like I said, they usually come in packs. Usually about 3 or 4 guys at once. Which is always a hassle. The only upside to fighting these guys is that they usually have some pretty good loot. You know what? Yeah. Oh, there we go. I will keep going through here. See if I can't find some valuable loot, since I seem to be doing so well. Usually I'm not as good. Let's skip that. Actually, I'll take that. Might as well. So, pull my sword again. And head down this way. Looks like I gained a level. Apparently I got cursed or something. Sometimes after getting into fights with these guys, your health starts dropping. If you're not careful, you'll lose all of it and die. How many healing items how many bandages do I have left? Okay, 11. So I'm not too worried. Okay, yeah. Looks like it's time to leave. See if that helps. Yep, okay, I'm not losing health anymore. So, we'll save here. So I actually managed to get a pretty decent haul out of that cave, but yeah, those caves can be pretty hard for someone who's not prepared for them, because I don't know whether it's the undead hitting you and placing a curse on you, if the cave starts cursing you eventually, but eventually you start constantly losing health while you're in the cave, and you have to leave in order to stop that, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. So, I managed to get a pretty decent haul out of that. Those undead usually carry some pretty valuable loot, and generally more of it than you'll find on, like, just regular bandits. So, it's certainly a lucrative option for making money, but it's not really the safest either. I kind of feel I got a bit lucky there.
Try the rum. You put hair on your chest.
With all that. So, glad I was able to get away with that. Let's check these guys.
Oh, she was beautiful with his eyes as
No,
blue as the
I ain't
ocean.
buying you a drink. Okay, he's another independent captain. I think he's Dutch. Most of these independent captains you can actually choose to play as when it comes to characters. When it comes time to select a character at the start of the game, but if you don't choose to play as them, then they'll appear in the game. No, I don't want you.
Others can hear us.
So. Alright, let's visit these guys.
It's good that you've paid me this visit, Captain.
These street vendors don't have any trade goods you can store in your ship's hold, but they're a nice way to sell and buy personal goods, particularly when the main store isn't open. Yeah, I can find my way around easily enough. Sell these goodies. The bronze rings and regular lactuses with the blue beads aren't really worth much, unfortunately, but at least they're worth something. They're only worth like maybe about 8 pieces of 8. That being the in-game currency that we're using. Yeah, currently I'm selling bronze rings and the necklaces for just 7 pieces of 8 each. Which is a bit of a bummer, but yeah, bears can't be choosers. So we finish selling a bunch of this stuff. Some of it's actually worth a decent bit. And so if you collect a bunch of personal gear, especially if it's worth more, so if it's worth a decent amount, you can actually make a good deal of money off of that to help support any endeavors at sea that you're going about. doesn't usually take a whole lot of time to, well, especially on lower difficulty levels, it usually doesn't take a huge amount of time to find a number of items that are worth a bit of cash, and that can really help you in a pinch, so you can get a bit of extra money to buy a new ship or some bandages or a new weapon when you need it. So always a good thing to keep in mind that
Pamper
killing
your beloved.
bandits is
Elegant souvenir.
going out and killing bandits or taking the slightly more risky route and playing around in the caverns, the grottos. That's always something you can do to make yourself a bit of extra cash if you need it.
The sharpest blades worthy of true fencing masters. The best goods for your shiniest coins.
No, neither of those options are really risk-free, but it's not a terribly difficult prospect either. Oh, excuse me. Right. So I'm going to go out to my ship briefly. So now we can actually get to take a look at it. Here it is. Ooh, there's a couple ships there. So I'm going to. So you can actually lower a boat to a ship to board it peacefully, and the captain will come see you. He comes running. Okay, so this is a military ship, so you can't really do much there. What type of ship is it, anyways? Yeah, it's a West. It's a Dutch trading company, VOC. Escort frigate.
Lower away!
So, see if this I think might be a merchant ship. Just looking at the captain. Right. So if you're talking to a merchant and they're friendly with you, then you can actually get their catalog, which will give you the imports and exports for the settlement that ship is coming from. Which is a nice ability. Normally you would have to. Oh, he's sailing from here. Oh well. Already got it. Anyways. So
Lower away!
and that's everyone. Yep. So if I check my trade catalog, I now have prices for Willemstad, the pirate settlement on Bermuda, and the Spanish the Spanish colony of Portobello on the mainland, which is a nice thing. However, if I pull up my map, you can see Hispaniola has a lot of place to go, so it can get pretty confusing rather quick. Right, okay. So normally you wouldn't start with this map. You'd have to find an old map first, which isn't as good. But this is pretty nice. Tells you where everything is. So Portobello's there. We're currently located here in Wilhelmstad, which is on the south coast of the island of Curacao. Trinidad and Port of Spain, that's owned by England. Same for Barbados, Antigua, Jamaica, and currently the Dutch are at war with the English, so of course English ships are going to attack me when they get the chance. So I'm going to sail to... I'm going to sail to Martinique and then Guadeloupe. So... I know they import leather on Martinique. Let me check my cheat sheet to see what else they import. My cheat sheet is unfortunately incomplete, and I enjoy playing the game too much and doing other things to really put in the effort needed to complete it, which is a bit of a bummer, but yeah, there's other stuff I like to do better than completing this. So linen. Linen, leather. So linen and leather are my best bets at the moment. I wish my sheet was complete. That would make it easier. So let's anchor. Head to the store. So I can buy up a load of trade goods.
Now here's a man who values Dutch quality.
So let's see if we can get this to reload the trade good weights.
Yeah, Brendan, what can I do for you?
There we go. So okay. Buy some extra leather as well. Alright, I'm going to rename my ship the Meerkat. Because they're honestly pretty cool animals. Timon, and if you don't know what a meerkat is, then Timon in the Lion King movies is one of them. That's his species. I think they live in Africa. So where's Maine? Maine's a tiny one out there. I want a big ship. Oh well. It's the same shit from before.
Lower away!
These might be the same shits from before. Alright. Yeah, it is a pretty cool looking ship, ain't it? It is, dude. If you ask me. So yeah, we need to sail east. So cut sail. So we can get past this guy without too much issue. And this here is gotta love the music. I just think about having one of these maps, you actually know which way to sail on the world map. Otherwise you could be just oh, there's a pirate ship. Personally enjoy this little soundtrack that I've added to the game. It sounds pretty epic. Cool part about this game that the developers have added is that you can actually create your own music packs for the game if you don't like the soundtracks they've originally included. So I created my own for my own game. I was okay with the soundtracks that they had, but I didn't really like them as much as I thought I would. So I created this music packet for myself. I'm hoping to post it on the forums eventually. So there's likely going to be some changes in future due to a couple music tracks I haven't decided to change yet, since I haven't experienced the place they're used in. Alright, hooray, we can anchor now, so we'll anchor our ship in the bay and head for shore. Alright. So, let's head up.
You're there! Stop!
Okay, so when you're in a port, if I'm in a port that's not controlled by the Dutch, then the guards are going to harass me quite a bit.
What can I help you with, Captain?
It does get annoying. That's a cool looking ship right there. I like the way that one looks. What's my favorite about it? Yeah, I like that one, but I like the way that one looks the best.
The best goods for your shiniest coins.
Buy a couple maps from her.
The sharpest blade for the most skilled of hands.
So I'll buy some more bandage from you, and then I'll just head for the store.
Why go somewhere else, eh?
Okay, so every now and then, sometimes for a little while, sometimes it can get pretty annoying, but the merchants will be busy with other clients in this version of the game, forcing you to wait until they're free to do business with you. Personally, I think that seems a little nonsensical, just because I can't see a good reason for why they'd refuse your business like that. Because it seems more like they'd just be willing to do business with you anytime, and then they can just hire stevedores, or you can use your own sailors to carry the cargo to the warehouses they're storing the goods in. But
When I'm out at sea, I've no equals.
And then I had a Spanish gal. She was tall and crazy.
okay, so I believe he's not an independent captain. I think he's British. Just by the name.
You want something, sir?
Yeah, I'd be good at it. So he's a navigator. Oh, he's got a good reputation too. So, not very good at fighting, great at defense and navigation. So it is a bit of a tempting offer for him to take care of him. Yeah, French Corsair.
Fine. He's the best in all the Caribbean.
Yeah, also sometimes you won't find any crewmen in the port because they'll have gone off with some other captain. So I'm going to stay until the evening and go out and kill some bandits. Help clean up the island. And that'll actually cost... Excuse me. So, killing bandits, going out and killing bandits will actually raise your reputation. And it will also provide you with a chance to obtain some loot that you can sell for a bit of extra cash. So, you know, yeah, it's a nice little way to not only make a bit of extra cash, but make your reputation a bit better. Oh, I went the wrong way. Yeah, it's nope, no way. So many different town layouts, it gets a bit confusing sometimes. You also have to go this way. You'll notice that there aren't any guards at the gate during the nighttime, and you can use that to sneak into an enemy colony if you need to, which is always you may or may not have to do that. I kind of tend to shy away from that.
Just hand over your gold.
Down he goes. I love my weapons. Take everything you have. So, I believe the right-hand trail here leads to the fort. But it doesn't hurt to check again. Yeah, leads to the fort. I think that's another bandit over there.
Your purse or your life.
One shot and he's down. Score! Let's just keep going the way I went there. Shoreline here. Doesn't look like anybody else is here. And now we delve further into the jungle. No, okay. Well, yeah, you can tell he's not a thief because he's moving around. The thieves just kind of stand in one spot until you get close to him. So, it'd be interesting to have the thieves actually move around, and then it takes a bit more to it takes a bit more effort to identify whether you're looking at a thief or just some passerby wandering around at night. And this is the pirate settlement, I believe. Le François is the pirate settlement on Martinique. check the beach down here. And I think kind of depends on the beach you're coming to, but usually you don't encounter a lot of bandits on the beach. And I've never encountered a bandit here next to the pirate settlement. Though that certainly might be a bit of a smart idea on their part, since pirates are usually quite a bit more skilled in combat and are much more heavily armed than the kind of people most land-based bandits want to take on. So, at least that's kind of the idea I've gotten from some of the sparse research and historical reading I've done in the past on that matter. I want that shit. This guy.
Well, I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I've spent all me money on whiskey and a beer.
He's a card. He's a game player. So those guys are both gamblers. I might do that on a future episode, but not at the moment.
The wine is the best in all the country.
Right. Nothing there. My luck might just not be good enough to really see anything up here in those areas. Into a tavern room. I believe that's Philippe the Quire, and if I'm correct, he's another French corsair, figure, buccaneer, whatever you want to call him. Doesn't that ship just look so cool? Let's head out there and see if they...
Hey, you!
Shut up.
Yeah, you! I don't know you!
Let's head out there and see if there's any ships in the bay currently that I can lower a boat to and get some info from. Okay, so there's just the one, the Prudent. And the Poliker.
Lower away!
See if she's merchant or military. Right. So, got a price guide from her for San Juan. And Wilmore and head back into town. Save, quick save again, real quick.
You there! Stop!
See what I mean? They never get tired of harassing you, and they just really don't like you. Because you're not one of them.
You have gold, we have what you need.
Yeah, so he's apparently still busy. Let's check out you.
The
What do you
sharpest
have,
blades
Andy?
worthy of true fencing masters.
Okay, yeah. I did get a bit of loot I could sell. Totally forgotten about that. Sorry. Refill my bullets. So we'll select the leader got from that bandit. And yeah. Anyway, check this guy too.
It's good you paid me this visit, Captain.
He doesn't really have anything I want. So I will save the game here, and that'll be the end of the first session. I'd go on longer, but there's other stuff I have to do today. And let me just check to make sure it'll load again. You do sometimes run into a bad save, but it's a rare occurrence. I usually experience near the start of my game when I would save over. When I would save over another save file. Anyways, so yeah, that's it for today, and we'll get back to continue Van Horn's adventures in episode 2. So I'll see you later. Rogue Ranger signing out.